Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's review, we're going to be checking out Ghost Recon Breakpoint. This is developed unpublished by Ubisoft, so a special thanks to them for giving me an early review copy and making this video possible. So this is basically another Ghost Recon in the same direction as Wildlands. We've got a massive open world. We're free to do whatever we want. We've got our vehicles. We've got everything we pretty much want. To be honest, this game was originally announced more of a survival game, more than anything else, where you really did have to take care of yourself. You're completely on your own. In the end, it's not quite the case. It's definitely not as survival-like as it was going to be originally. However, you still do have quite a lot of fun when it comes to stealth, and there's quite a lot of game mechanics and stuff related to that. Now, this is, however, not a really hardcore stealth game, mainly because of how arcadey it feels in a lot of ways. The shooting and the physics and stuff like that really do seem quite arcadey. The kind of AI isn't as intelligent as you would really want it to be. Even on the harder levels, it kind of just makes their awareness a bit higher. But yeah, it's definitely not like a hardcore stealth if you're looking for something like that. Now, let's talk about the open world, since that is probably the main part of these games. Like I said, it's an open world game like Wildlands, where you can pretty much do whatever you want. You've got your side missions, your main missions, you've got a load of boxes, got a load of lore, collectibles and all that, all to explore. And I do want to point out that the story is kind of interesting in this one. It's kind of took a more futuristic kind of conspiracy. It's kind of quite weird, but I do find it very interesting, especially what they're going for story-wise anyway. Now, as far as graphics goes with this massive open world, it looks absolutely amazing. The way the shadows work, the way the wind blows, the way the trees move, just how the water reflects and stuff like that, how the sun works. It looks absolutely incredible, especially like from a distance when you're maybe running up to a massive open kind of area. You really kind of get the feel of how open the area is, or how the wind's blowing through the trees, especially with the good sound effects when you've got decent headsets. The experience is really immersive, at least as far as environment goes. However, even if it does look that good, the map does feel kind of empty and it feels a bit repetitive. You know, this is the type of games where side quests don't really, I mean, like, you do one or two and it's fine, but it kind of gets boring really, really quick. The only interesting things you can kind of find around the map are collectibles, maybe a bit of lore. Since this game is going with more of a looter shooter feel to it, where you can get like different color coded rarity weapons, it's kind of interesting to open up maybe like a chest and get a cool weapon out of it and stuff like that. But apart from that, the world does feel very, very empty, alongside like all the kind of bad AI on the enemies. Is not really, it just doesn't feel like as good as it could feel. It is a lot of fun going stealthy, and maybe like even for less experienced players, it may be even more fun, since the guns do feel more arcadey. Basically, most of the guns are just laser pointers at this point, and it's definitely not hard to get headshots or anything like that, no matter how far away you are. So maybe for the less experienced player, it may even be more enjoyable, but if you're really looking for something really stealthy, hardcore, this is totally not the game for you. We said it's kind of loot based. It's kind of like a looter shooter. You do level up depending on what level your gear is, and obviously depending on the area you're exploring, the enemies will also have a level. But the good thing is, no matter what level you're on or what level the enemy's on, if you get a headshot, for instance, that is going to kill him. So the level thing is kind of more a representative thing. However, like I said, headshots will always insta-kill enemies. Maybe sometimes they've got helmets on and you're going to take 2 shots, 1 to fire it off and 1 to get the headshot and kill him. But like, on the other hand, it kind of makes you feel that the game doesn't really know what it's trying to go for. It's kind of really weird to see these looter shooter elements in every game we see now, like with the color coding and stuff, the leveling up, which doesn't really make sense in this aspect. I don't know, it kind of feels like a game that's kind of all over the place and doesn't really know what it wants. And like I said, it kind of doesn't feel like a survival in like the way that you really have to look after yourself, because you basically got a bandage that can just heal you anyway. But at the same time, it is fun to go stealthy. Some of the other weird things I've seen in this game, like sometimes it will literally be raining and there's not a cloud in the sky. Sometimes it feels like you walk around the map and there's just a building that really doesn't kind of make sense there. It's almost as if they've just copied and pasted certain buildings. You're walking around and like there's a motorbike, a broke down motorbike, kind of just every, I don't know, 200 meters. It's just like, wow, does anybody have a bike that actually works? There's a load of bugs also, just not game breaking bugs admittedly, but there are quite a lot of minor bugs. And I don't know, like I'm normally quite an optimistic reviewer. Most of the reviews I give games have pretty good scores, but yeah, this one's a bit all over the place, like I said. However, I did really enjoy, I had a few games at the PvP aspect, and it kind of feels a bit like something like Rainbow Six Siege, but in third person. I really did enjoy it. It was kind of cool, and it felt, you know, it was a lot of fun. But as far as like the adventure, the story mode goes, I haven't finished it yet, but I don't think I will. It just feels a bit repetitive. The story is interesting sometimes, but maybe a bit too repetitive just because of the gameplay mechanics. As far as like voice acting goes and details on the characters, in all fairness, they're actually pretty good. However, I do feel like they focused all their attention to the antagonist, like his voice, not necessarily his voice, sorry, but his facial expressions and his face in general just looks like it's better done than the rest of them. And I know this is kind of normal, obviously, but it just seems like he's like miles ahead of everybody else on the game. And yeah, like I said, the one thing that really did stand out in this game is how good the environment looks and how good it sounds if you're wearing a decent headset. It really does make you feel like you're there. The explosions also have like this really nice boom to them, and just the surround effects are really, really good. However, sometimes they do look a bit weird. I mean, how's that massive tree in the background moving? Jesus Christ, that wind. But yeah, all in all, it's not a horrible game. However, I do think you have to be looking for something quite specific to play this game, and that's without mentioning any of the microtransactions that they're trying to go for in this game, which is quite over the top as well. It feels like they're trying to just get any excuse to get microtransactions there. I feel like that's why they put the whole loot to shooter in there as well. Not that I mind looter shooters, I actually kind of enjoy them, just opening chests and getting legendaries, but it doesn't quite feel right in this type of game. But anyway guys, that's just my opinion. For me, it's going to be a 6.5 out of 10. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one guys. Thanks for watching, hopefully this review is helpful. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. This will allow me to get more games and produce more videos. Thanks ever so much for the support. Take care guys.